What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. Hope everybody's having a fabulous Friday. The weekend is almost here. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin. We'll take a look first at the bearish case scenario we've been looking at, and then at the end of the video, definitely stick around because we're going to look at a pattern I think may be forming and why it could be a bullish case scenario. Before that, I want to remind you guys I have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's totally free. There's also some affiliate links down there that really help the channel out and help keep this content free. Also, I'll be giving away the free t-shirt. All you have to do to be entered to win is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, and leave your comment down below. I'll be picking a random comment on Sunday. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, as always, I want to let you know I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. The disclaimer is scrolling across the bottom. Make sure you read it. All right, we're going to look at the fear and greed index first. As you can see, we are at 29. It raised about 8 points since yesterday. We are still in fear. We were in extreme fear. I like to take a look at this. Obviously, you can't make your decision off this, but it is very interesting. Now we're going to look at the headlines. Bitcoin surge this morning, shows the market vulnerability. That was yesterday. Tim Draper says $25,000 Bitcoin price prediction is not based on the halving. If you guys want to read up on that, go ahead. I just like to read and see what the sentiment is by the cover stories. Bitcoin recovers from below 72K after Schiff says game is over. You all know Peter Schiff. Come on, man. Almost 9 billion in Bitcoin transferred. Blah, blah, blah. So there's some FUD. The first shake to wake up the King Bitcoin. Is this why Bitcoin, Ethereum, blah, blah, blah. Bitcoin trades range bound as investors wait and see what's going to happen. Bitcoin worth 30 billion, sits still for 5 years. Kind of mixed match, just like the sentiment. Let's take a look at, also I want to remind you guys, my wife's webpage, inkyourimage.com, there's a link to that below in the description also. Definitely check it out. She's got t-shirts, coffee mugs, beer koozies. These aluminum signs are real cool. Hats. And these make great Christmas presents too. This is also where you'll be able to pick your t-shirt if you do win. But she also has other stuff too if you hit her up in the contact and just ask her some hoodies and stuff like that. All right, without further ado, let's get into the video. Bitcoin on the monthly. So we've been talking about this right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. We are in between these two EMAs. This is at around 70.90, and that is the 21 EMA. We have the 13 EMA right around the 76.50 range. We're still in between there. And again, guys, this is on the monthly. I believe whichever way we break here is going to be a huge indicator of where we are headed. Also, I want to show you, I've been looking at this as a bull flag, which it is a little long to be a bull flag, but it's still definitely possible. If you look here, we are still having declining volume within this formation. Remember, guys, stick around. We're going to look at the bearish case and the bullish case. Just looking at the bullish case here, if we were to break out this month, and that would be breaking this resistance around 8,800, yeah, right around 8,800. If we were to break that, the target would be way up here at around 18,600. That doesn't mean we go straight there, guys. You're not going to see one big green candle. Obviously, that'll take time, maybe the first quarter of next year if that does play out. Also, you can see I have this arc drawn in here on the RSI. We have poked through it, but again, this is the beginning of the month. We can close above this and continue our rise up. So let's look at the weekly. All right, on the weekly, same thing. We are still in what seems to be a bull flag pattern here. And we have been talking about this holding as support, this bottom line here. If we were to drop down this week and test the bottom, that'd be around the $6,400 range. I see a lot of people throwing that number around. Also, if you look at the EMAs here, they do look bearish, like they're coming down. Again, guys, we're taking a look at the bearish and the bullish case scenario. But yeah, as you can see, if we came down this week to test the bottom, that'd be around 6,400. If we were to break through that, I also have this trend line here, which is just cloned from up here, and that would get us down to possibly, if we came down to test the 200 EMA, that would be sometime at the end of the month, and that would be around the $5,000 range. Another number people are throwing around, but as you can see, we are still in this formation and our volume is still declining. Let's look at, let me go back and look at the RSI and the weekly. I have this drawn in the RSI. As you can see, we had this resistance line in the weekly RSI. We broke out of it, and if you look at where we broke out, that was right when we had the big $3,000 move here back in October. So yeah, let's look at what happened after that. We came back down and tested this trend line. Also, if you guys notice, this red line here is support from way back, and we did break that when we capitulated back in November of last year. And then obviously at the beginning of this year, we broke back through and we are getting support on it again. Now look at the daily chart. So on the daily, as you guys know, my worst case scenario here is coming back down. If I have the Fibonacci extension drawn from the swing low to the swing high of this move this year, and the 0.786 is the 53.96 area. That's the lowest I believe will go unless we come back down to test this trend line here, which could be as low as 4,600, somewhere in there by the end of the year. But as of right now, I'm looking at the 0.786 as the lowest point, and we talked about if we used Elliott wave theory and that would be, this would have been wave 1, this would be wave 2. But as you guys know, I don't rely on Elliott wave, even though I do look at it. All right, so let me get this down a little bit. This isn't going to be exact, but 92.37 would be the top of this, and that's what we're going to talk about here in a minute. First, I want to look at the daily targets in the bearish case. If we look at it in the bearish case, as you guys know, I've had this rising wedge drawn in here. The measured move of this rising wedge on the daily would be from where we broke out right at this 65.80 area. So that's definitely an area I'm going to be watching for. It's definitely possible. As you can see, our volume is declining again. I think there's a big move coming, and it's a good possibility it could be up. We're going to talk about that here in a few. Want to look at the RSI on the daily. As you can see right now, we are getting resistance on this trend line. If you belong to the Discord, you know we've all been looking at this. If we do break up from here, guys, we're most likely coming up to test this trend line here, which we've been getting resistance from. We could see a nice bullish move today, or we could see a nice breakdown move. But right now we are at the decision point. And as you guys know, we've been watching this golden pocket area, which is in between the 0.618 and the 0.65 Fibonacci. If we do break below, if we come back down to the 0.65, that's going to be around the 6,900. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Let's go to the 4 hour. So in the 4 hour, all right, this is going to be kind of messy, but stick around because after this, we're going to look at what I believe to be Adam and Eve forming. It's very possible, and it could be extremely bullish for us, guys. But as always, we're going to take a look at the bearish case first. As you can see right now, we are getting pressed in between. We are really constricting in between these EMAs here. This is probably going to be the telltale what happens today. If we break up out of this falling channel here, right, that's going to be the bullish case. But we'll take a look at the bearish case first. As you can see here, I have this rising wedge with the yellow as being the resistance, support being the red, which we broke through here. If we take the measured move of that, and this is the number I've been talking about for days, that gets us down to that 6,900 range, which is also the 0.65 Fibonacci level. If that breaks, then we're looking at the lower targets here, which was 64 or 66.45, and then from the daily that we looked at was the 65.80. I know it gets confusing, guys, but if you've been following along with the channel, it's a lot less confusing. And if we look at this rising channel that we broke down out of, take the measured move, the width of the channel, to where we broke down, that gets us to that 66.45. Now, we're going to take a look at a couple more things, more bullish case. As you know, yesterday, I had this 74.73 in here and said if we broke that, we would most likely come up to retest this trend line here off of these two wicks, and that would be around the 77.40. We did get rejected right there where I put it. I was a little bit off. I had 74.73. It was 74.91. Let's get that out of the way now. So now we're looking at, let's put another target here. We'll put it in white, the top of this trend line. So around that 74.25 range. If we break above that today, guys, we're most likely going to come up somewhere in this area around the 77.13, 77.50 range would be this trend line here. If that breaks, then we start to get really bullish, guys. Also want to point out, excuse me, we'll take a measured move of the yellow, this falling channel right here, the support or resistance up top, support on the bottom. We bring this up. If we're to break through there, a possibility that we're going up to test 8,000. Now, what I want to talk about is a 200 EMA on the 4 hour. Look at where we're at, right around 78.50, 78.70, somewhere in that range. Now we're going to look at the bullish case that I was talking about, guys. What seems to be a good possibility, it's not guaranteed, obviously, just like anything in technical analysis, but it does look like we are forming an Adam and Eve here. And the neckline's at the 78.80 area. If we go back over here, that is right where the 200 EMA is, guys. If we get rejected here, then we're looking at the lower lows if we even get up here. But if we do break that 78.80 area, the measured move of this Adam and Eve is measuring from the neckline down to the bottom of the Adam, bring it up to the neckline where we break out, and that gets us at 92.34 like you've seen in the thumbnail. Definitely a possibility. Keep an eye on it, guys. This could get extremely interesting here. This also looks sort of like a reversal diamond pattern forming here, which is a good sign that we could be moving up. So am I bullish or bearish here? It kind of depends. I'm actually kind of getting kind of bullish here. I know I was looking for that 69, which still could happen. But let's keep an eye on it, guys. Definitely don't forget to subscribe to the channel by ticking the CryptoSavy logo above my head. Tick the notification bell. Don't forget to leave your comments to get you entered to win the free t-shirt. I will be doing the random comment pick on Sunday. You'll have 24 hours to retrieve it. Don't forget to check out my wife's webpage, inkyourimage.com. See what t-shirt you might like, and if you want to get someone a Christmas gift. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the support you guys been giving me. You guys rock, and I'm out of here.